guess with the cap and trade and the healthcare issue, I got on the phone more and started communicating with my representative, and was frustrated in that the person I was talking to when I got to voice my opinion was communicating when would he be in town, when would he be in the office, when could I schedule an appointment, when being in the healthcare field, I felt I had something to say about that. And I even was pointed to the scheduler and the planner in Washington D.C. and contacted them and emailed him and was really frustrated. And then the next day or 2 days later, I'd see that he was in Zanesville talking to a company or had something that was, in timing would have been something, so if they would have just said right then, I would have been able to attend.
Well, I think he's selecting who he talks to.
Yeah. But I understand that, but he still, he has office hours, and that's a big frustration for me is meeting the constituents. So I guess for me is when you're elected, or we hope that we can get the support, is to make sure you make availability, even if the people has the same opinions or different opinions, is have the voice of the people you represent available and not try to schedule around.
Let me tell you what I've done when I got elected to the Ohio House in 2003. I didn't go in there with a big agenda, okay? I just went in, my thoughts were back then, I was asked to run by our Holmes County Republican Party, and I thought maybe I could make a difference, okay? But I didn't go in there with a big agenda that I was gonna, have this for this group. I was pretty much kind of wide open. And one thing that I didn't really think about was constituent stuff. I guess it just never occurred to me when I first got there. And what's been nice about that is it's doing the constituent stuff work has been really rewarding. I can give you a couple examples. We've done constituent stuff obviously for individuals, constituents, and also companies. That maybe they have a workers' comp issue or an ODOT issue. And then we've had a lot, people that unemployment checks weren't coming, and then find out it was the Akron office, can't talk to the Columbus office, but I'll give you a couple of examples. We had one in my Senate district where a company had just was making around a $15 million expansion, and we went through working with the utility. I think that was First Energy in that case. We got a substation put in, we had to do some creative stuff to help that along, and it was coming along really good. But this company the parent company was a company out of state, a state that's a lot more friendlier to business, Tennessee, okay? And they found out they couldn't get access into the new part in one road. It was an ODOT issue, okay? And they called me, and I went and looked at it, and I looked at this, and I said, this is a no-brainer. Shouldn't even be in a discussion. And 2 days later, we had the lieutenant governor up there, and we worked and got fixed. And it's a good thing because the head parent company's CEO was getting so frustrated what was going on here in Ohio, he was going to just take the whole works and say that. So we saved 150 jobs and the possibility of another 100 or so. Had another one. Some of these you don't forget because they're so interesting. Had one up in Medina County. Lady called me, a small business, had about 25 employees. It was a workers' comp issue. And apparently back in the late 90s, there was a kind of window in the law. Here's the situation. Their 2 employees were driving a company vehicle, and there was an accident, and there was a fatality. Okay, the accident was caused by not her employees, but the John Doe citizen, and because there was a quirk in the law and a Supreme Court decision, there was a window there a few years where workers' comp could not go after the insurance company or the person that caused the accident. So this is back in like 05, 06, several years after the fact, that it came through the workers' comp system, and the workers' comp paid it all for a fatality. That's a big claim, workers' comp. And they got kicked out of the workers' comp group. Now, for some of you that know what the workers' comp group is here in Ohio, when you get kicked out, your rates can go up exponentially because you get penalty rated. And so her premiums were going, I can't remember the exact number, something like from $20,000 a year to $80,000 a year, or something like that. And she said to me, I'm going to have to close my business, I can't stay in business. So I worked with workers' comp in the governor's office, and we got that mitigated. We can get her back in the group, but we bill as a we got mitigated, and we saved 25 jobs. So we shoot that wits end. One thing I found out, working on constituent stuff, when individuals come to my office or me as a state rep or state senator, most of the time they're probably right, because they don't usually come, you know, that's what I kind of found out. Once in a while you get something to say, you look at it and say, you know, you're wrong, you can't help it. But I've never turned down a meeting with a constituent in my 8 years now in the legislature. The only time I turned down issues which we had to reschedule because of time schedule, but I've never done that. One of the other things that I'm really proud of, I'll never forget this, in October of 2003, my first year as new state rep, all of a sudden one day, my phone started ringing off the hook, my email started ringing, started coming off, so people are calling, people are talking to me at church, even, all this and that. And it was this, what they call the streamlined sales tax issue, which I knew nothing about. And my area, it was going to be really hurt. This was a deal that was already passed in the law before I got there. It was passed in 2000. I guess it was around 2000. So I started checking into it, and I found out it was a multi-state compact. About 25 states were already involved in this, and they had these bylaws, and Iowa was participating, and they were implementing it now. Starting January 1st, all the business retailers in the state of Iowa got a letter saying, come January 1st, this is how you will collect sales tax now. Okay, going from what we are an origin-based system to what we call destination-based system. And what happened, I got the Speaker of the House to appoint me to represent the Ohio House to this multi-state board. Okay, and before I went to my first meeting, I got legislation passed out of the Ways and Means Committee because everybody was fired up because they didn't realize this was going to happen. It was kind of got, this is one of those unintended consequences. And so I drove down to Nashville, Tennessee to my first meeting, and at the end of the 2 days they put me on. At the end they told me, you can't do this, it's not going to work. Well, it turned out other states, Texas, Kansas, some other states had the same issue. And 4 years later, after working, and about 9 months after that, then State Senator Ron Amstutz, my state senator at the time, got involved, and we worked together. We traveled all over the country to these meetings. And 4 years later, it took us 4 years, but we got postponed during the 4 years, so the law didn't take effect. Okay. And then what we did, we changed the bylaws of the multi-state deal, and the governor last, a year ago, May now, I guess it would have been, signed my bill that kept us on origin-based sourcing, and we fixed the problems that was going to cause. And that was obviously constituents, because I was just flooded with constituents. And it's just by accident, of the 88 counties, Holmes County was the most severely affected county under that change, mainly because Holmes County is such an export county of wood products. Mm-hmm. And that was going to be, I documented it, Holmes County was going to lose 50%, I think it was 50% of their county revenue, or 25% of their total budget. I had the tax department going, and I forget, it was August of, might have been 2004. They came in and spent about a month in Holmes County going around businesses, which I'm not privy, of course, to see the tax records, and checking it out, because they thought, you're wrong, it can't be right.